Hello and greetings, beautiful audience. It is us, the science of the world after the fall. I am Tom Murr and I am your host and story guide for tonight, which is actually pretty bright right now, but don't get distracted by it. It will become darker over the time because we are here, almost all of us in Europe, and it's evening. So we are here to bring you the first of the amazing new Mythic Shards um, that are right now being crowdfunded and already fully funded over at Backerkit. And before I'm gonna tell you uh, who I'm playing with, I will tell you this is an ongoing crowdfunding campaign. It has started yesterday, and it brings uh, and seven, I think seven new settings to Scion. And I am very excited that I have the honor to share the screen with these beautiful people to bring you the first one, which is, from my point of view, actually the first one, because it tells you the story of what happens after the fall. For those who are here and have no idea what Scion is about, Scion is a story path game, and it is about the children of gods who are on their way to apotheosis to become a god. Um, Things are different in Mythic Shards, and they are especially different um, in the time after every single one of them, all apocalypses took place. And we can officially say the gods are dead, all of them. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty incredible for Scion because we are supposed to play the children of gods. Well, um, it is also a world full of lies. So maybe not all gods are necessarily entirely dead, but humanity survived in a few pockets. And whilst the oceans evaporated and all the gods are with them, um, the humanity persevered, and we can we can see that fate also is still there. And as long as there are humans and as long as there's fate, there are also gods, or at least people with the divine spark. And after the end brings you a, a few new types of science. Some of them are uh, actually mantles or aspects of old gods, like Odin. And whilst Odin died during Ragnarok, um, there are a few aspects of him who survived, and they reincarnate into the world. And some of these very lucky people um, gain memories about their lives as gods and are not necessarily very happy about this because they can remember reality that was very different. And then there are others who got in contact with divine power by accident and became science this way. And my favorite version is that they are coming into contact with like radiating divinity, and they contract basically herohood, demigodhood, and finally probably godhood. Right now, there are no fully fledged gods. There are a few demigods, but the overworlds are still burning and still empty. And so everybody who has the divine spark and has been chosen by fate has a chance to become the member of the new pantheon, pantheon or pantheon, several. I don't know. Um, but there are open job opportunities, and we're gonna struggle for them tonight. And luckily, I'm not the only one breaking my tongue over words that I can't pronounce, but I have friends, and we're gonna start with my newest friend to my left, who's gonna introduce themselves and then who they are playing. And this is Pablo. Hello.
Hello everyone. This is awesome. Never done a live play before, but I have played so many games of Scion, and as my local group would tell you, sadly though, I am the perennial GM, so this is a wonderful time to get back into actually gaming. And my name is Pablo Vasquez. I write for Scion. I've written for multiple books of Scion, and anything from the Mysteries of the World Hero Companion and onwards. You might find my work in them. I've written a bunch of stuff also for the Story Path Nexus as well. Happy to be a part of this. I'll be playing Vicky, who is a reflection scion of Juti. So that'll be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to exploring definitely this new shard for Scion.
Thank you. It's so great to have you. Okay, my next friend to my right side is the wonderful Bianca. Hello, who are you? Who are you playing?
Who are you? Why are you in my house?
I am
Hello,
everywhere.
my name is Bianca. I used to write tabletop RPGs quite a lot, but today I mostly just play them. My daytime job is as a digital games designer, so I work right now um, making horse games. So, but tonight we shall celebrate that the gods are dead and we shall take their place. Maybe. I don't know. What are you guys planning?
Thank you. Uh, do you want to tell us who you are playing?
Oh yes, I am playing as Marcus. I don't have any parents. I kind of stumbled onto this ordeal. Maybe we'll cover that backstory. But yeah, so I'm a mutated scion.
Thank you very much. Okay, and then to my bottom left, there is Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Hello, yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm ill. Please forgive the coughing. I'll try to mute before I recough, but hey, these things make get through occasionally. I am also an Onyx Path writer. I'm not a writer for the Scion game line yet, but I have written a couple of contributions to other books for a couple of the game lines, and I have contributed to a couple of, I think, 2 Scion Nexus supplements. But I also just write community content live on stream occasionally. Some of you may have seen me on Tuesday, and I am playing Siren, an incarnation of Nuatha, of the Tuatha De Danann. And out of respect for the entire country of Ireland, I will not be faking an Irish accent tonight.
This brilliant idea. It's more people shouldn't do this. Yeah, thank you. And now the wonderful, the splendid, the amazing Ipsy.
I need to find out where my mute button is. Oh, okay, so it's working. Hi, I'm Ipsy. I am a huge nerd. I have been nerding out for over 20 years, and I do a lot of live streaming here for Onyx Path. I am a free agent, so I don't necessarily tied to one line or another. I have done community content in in the Storyteller's Vaults for Changeling, the 20th edition, and I have playtested for a number of games also. I am not currently working on anything official, but I do have several ideas, which is a very dangerous position for me to be in. Tonight I will be playing Letitia, seventh of her name. I have decided she's a mutated Scion. Um, with she's very social, and I hope that somehow I can be social enough to engage with other people, knowing that I am the shy and quiet and retiring one, that the wallflower of all the games that I have been in with both Tom and Ryan. So hopefully I can break out of my shell this time and actually contribute in an energetic and positive way, and not just fade into the background like I'm prone to do.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's so great to be here. I am Tom Murr. I am a professional GM, and for some reason, Onyx Path still allows me to be on their streams. Whilst I am usually breaking rules and games constantly. So, yeah, but here we are. And let me quickly check, because I can tell you that there are a few things that I can promote. First of all, there's still Dog Days of Summer Sale at Indie Press Revolution. There's up to 75% off on Chronicles of Darkness and Realms of Puckmeyer books. Some of them, but yeah, there are some awesome deals, and if you get the chance to look at their side and have a little plowing through the pages, it's a good deal right now. And then today, very freshly, and I'm so excited because I might be telling a few germs how to run this very soon. There is since today, there is the POD softcover version of the Curseborn Ashcan coming out. And I saw it on drive-through already, so you can go over there and get it digitally or as a POD or in the bundle. It's all there, and I think it's also the post-errata version. Oh my goodness, I think I need to drink. My potion of English is empty. So yeah, that's also there. And since, well, you are in the chat, but you can't stop me right now, I can tell all of you that Travis Bizarre Kingdoms Kickstarter is in the last 20 something hours, and it's fully funded, and we can maybe even break a stretch goal. So yeah, don't hesitate to go over to Kickstarter and have a look at Bizarre Kingdoms. But now let's go to the main show, the main event. And I hope all of you have a drink in front of you. Maybe with some delicious, clear, pure, crisp water in it, which is basically invisible right now. But I can tell you, it tastes wonderfully. It's the lifeblood of the world. And the world is missing it. Most of the oceans are gone, as are many of the rich, beautiful, vibrant jungles and forests, as are the cities. The world became barren. after the last battle was fought, as titans and gods clashed, and every single end time story took place. There are wounds in Ymir's body, filled with radiation and worms and festering boils. And the giant seems dead. There's a thick cover of sand and dust on his skin. And it threats to swallow the last pieces and bits of civilization, of life. Yet, this day hasn't come yet. There's still life, and as it tends to, it claws and bites and fights to stay, to grow, to persist. And we are looking across a huge wasteland. Far in front of us, we can see a plume of red, yellow, brownish dust emerging from the ground. And like a falcon, we come in closer to it. Fast, we take up the track and finally can see a huge truck throwing sand from the ground as it is making its way through the desert. We can hear the engine roaring and the wheels digging through the ground as it races forwards. It is not alone. There's a smaller, rusted sand desert buggy nearby, and we can hear some shouts and maybe gunshots from it, because the people on board of this buggy are trying to fend off two cars full of raiders who are trying to get closer to the main truck. They are throwing hooked lines over there and trying to pull closer. There's one guy with an old-timey machine gun who's trying to bring down the driver's cabin, which is fortified, reinforced, but who knows how long it will be able to withstand the fire. And the raiders are trying to get to your cargo. So, I need to know who is driving the buggy.
I think that's probably Marcus, who's swearing at his ass, going like, if you want the car, don't fucking scratch it. Is this PG? Is this too much?
I think that's all right.
It's a bit late now, really.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I think we are rated already from the beginning.
I think the whole channel has a mature warning.
Yeah.
agreement. You have to click to view the stream.
So a
I
little bit of
will.
cursing is all right.
Okay. That will be my F-bomb for today.
Perfect. Okay. Um, do you have an idea what Marcus looks like?
I want to say stinky. That's the word that's in my head right now. Or you could go for something more flattering, maybe ruggedly handsome, but with dirt underneath the nails, and a little bit sloppy.
Mm-hmm. And what is your idea? How do you want to get rid of the raiders?
Well, since they're smaller, I was thinking of maybe ramming into them. It's do I have anyone in my car that I can just kind of shout orders to?
I think you're in the company of 3 other people right now who are probably also not happy about being robbed in the middle of the desert. Who is the
Yeah,
most angry right now?
I wouldn't say angry, but I'm definitely resolute and very focused on protecting what I perceive to be my own or my band's. And in my right arm under the cloak, the ragged cloak I'm wearing is completely silver. Um, it's it's a magical prosthetic, and I'm racking the slide of a bronze shotgun with it as the raiders get too close.
Okay. Is Siren the 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 person you want to address Marcus?
I don't know, Siren. But I'm probably just yelling in general, like, could you guys like help? The windows, they are kind of there for decoration. They're not structurally sound, I suppose, but you can use them. Please do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm absolutely leaning out and firing the shotgun.
Perfect. So, what I hear are 2 actions right now, which still leaves further options open for the other 2, but let's handle them first. I can see this being so Marcus wants to ram the attacker's car, and how do you want to approach this? Going full force, hoping that you're not being squashed in the attempt.
I'm assuming I'm on the left side of the car. This is going to be very confusing depending on where we are. But wait, it says it's an Irish muscle car in my birthright. So am I sitting on the right side? I don't know. Where are we? Which side is the driver's seat?
I think people caring about on which side you are driving are all dead.
What?
Yeah.
No gods, no masters, no rules. Oh, civilization is falling apart. All right, let's say that I am on the left side, and I'm looking. You said the 2 cards that are flanking.
Yes.
So the one that's on my left, does it before I ram? Does it have anything that is protruding that might hurt my car or?
Well, as you're asking this, these and the cars of the attackers are rebuilt several times, and they are more Frankenstein versions of vehicles from before. And they have like a pole with a chainsaw at the end, reaching out on one side of the car, and it is on your side.
Okay, I'm not gonna ram, I think. I can't really be yelling about them scratching my car and then, keying it with the chainsaw. That doesn't sound like a bright idea. So I'm not withholding and trying to just...
Or we could do it like this. You're gonna try to be very agile, and we're gonna take pilot as a skill. You have dune buggy, so I think this counts as an enhancement, right? Somebody, please nod. Thank you. And then we will take dexterity. And we add all of these up, make our dice pool. And to hit the car, you just need one success. But there is a complication of 2 that your car is getting scratched by this whole chainsaw. And to not be shredded by the chainsaw, you have to pay 2 hits after you succeeded. So you were looking at 3 successes in total. Is this like something you would like to attempt?
Yes, I would say so.
Brilliant.
Because
Okay.
I've already made this dice roll, and I do have 1, 2, 3. No. Yes, I think it is 7 up, right?
8.
It is 8 up.
8 up.
And
Frick.
10s explode, so you can roll them again, keep the success, and hope for another success.
But I do have 3 successes still, so...
That's all what we are asking for.
Yay!
Perfect. So, Marcus is taking the car, throwing around the wheel, and crashes into the Raiders car. And we can see that this gives it a hefty hit onto the back part, and one of the wheels is now being blocked by by part of the metal, and they're starting to swirl around, and you evade the very dangerous pole chainsaw. There are curses from the drivers in there, and you can see that one of them, who is basically covered in several layers of leather and has a tattooed jaw, like from a very big fish with sharp teeth, on his, basically has a tattooed jaw on his jaw, and he's like screaming and shouting at you, and you basically can see the eyes getting blood red. And this is probably the moment that our wonderful Siren wants to take a shot.
Yeah, it is
So,
very much so.
how do you shoot?
Well, with everything being quite what's the right word? Unpredictable right now with the ramming and the chainsaw on a pole. I'm going to be using my free hand to lock myself in place so that my aim is as steady as possible, because I'm going for cinematic aiming rather than how you would actually fire a shotgun. And then, shotgun as close to the pole-wielding person's face as I possibly can before pulling the trigger. I'm just checking. I have a thing for my shotgun. Okay. So I was aiming for stamina and firearms, obviously, as my dice pool.
Sounds delicious.
4,
We're looking at a defense of 1.
Fantastic. Oh god, now I have to pass these Scion dice. Is that a 9 or a 6? That is a 9. That is also a 9. That is also a 9. That is a 10. So I'll reroll that. That's another 3. So that's 4 successes. And I'm going to spend one of them. My shotgun, my bandmates would know, is a birthright relic. And it fires face shot pellets and slugs. And because it is a relic, that a face shot weapon, I can use one of those successes on the paralyzed stunt. Does no damage, but the target's muscles seize up and their nerves scream in agony. On their next turn, they have a complication of 2, which, if not bought off, they can't move until the end of their next turn.
I have a very important question. Have you been aiming at the driver or the person next to him?
Oh yeah, sorry, the driver. I was going to try and just stop the car dead rather than.
Yes. What does the shot look like as you fire your birthright weapon?
It's just like against all laws of logic and reason. It's a perfectly circular spread of shot that impacts the windshield or windscreen, if you prefer.
And the person behind the windshield is getting hit by the shot, and something is just not right with them. They stare basically into oblivion, and all they can do is like holding onto the steering wheel, but not controlling it whatsoever. So we can see how the car with the stunned driver is now veering away from the convoy and slingering away a little bit off to the side, which leaves us with one additional attacker car, which pulls up from behind. And we can see another of these leather-clad ruffians, this time not only with the lower jaw of a giant fish with several rows of teeth, but a second one emanating from the eyebrows. So basically half the face is covered in ink. And they are holding a weapon that looks like the amalgamation of a saber and an axe. And it is definitely made to cut and push through metal. And they jumping from their car onto your car and heaving their weapon and pushing the first hole through the roof. How much open space has the roof of your car, or is this completely closed?
I mean, I'm so bad when it comes to cars. What is them like? What is the stereotypical muscle car? How does it look?
I mean, a muscle car traditionally would be completely sealed. Maybe have a convertible roof, but
the thing is, the birthright is called an Irish muscle car. How it looks is totally up to us. So we don't have to say it is like this because the rules say so. We can make up our dream post-apocalyptic car right now. So we already established it got its steering wheel on the left side because we need some fucking order in this world. And we are here to bring it. So what else is awesome about this car?
I think that it probably might have. No, that will be too that will be a structural weakness, perhaps, to have something at the top. So I think that it's completely covered.
Okay. So Okay, Vicky, Letitia, I think you're sitting at the back seats, and there is like a hand-long iron poker coming through the roof, sticking in between the two of you as this guy just jumps onto your car and getting hold of you, and then is probably about to come to you
Okay.
in some way. So we need something to happen.
How big is the hole?
It's right now just like this because there's the iron went
Okay.
through.
I'm gonna grab it. I'm very sorry, Marcus. I'm gonna wiggle it a little bit to make the hole a little bit bigger.
My car!
You're getting a sunroof, it's fine. And I am going to use my Tears of Rain and create a swarm of bees. Just like pour it right there on the poker. And they just come flying out at him.
Okay. Okay. We enter awesome super magic territory. And I have questions
Yes.
about this. So, where do you store your magic bees?
They're in a little jar.
Eh,
They a tiny clay jar, tightly stoppered with wax and engraved with strange symbols that are told to be hieroglyphics. So here's my little jar. I'm opening my little jar.
And as you open it, and the swarm of angry emerges, we see you. What is your look, the look on your face right now? How does it look like as you are unleashing Fury
I
Incarnate?
I am delighted. So much fun. They're good to have bees. They're creatures. They're talking in ancient times. Honey was a symbol of prosperity and wealth, and I'm just talking excitedly about bees, and the ancient humans used them as a source of power and wealth and creation of community. And we often whispered to bees as we told them our secrets, and we introduced our wives to them. We invited them to our weddings. Bees are wonderful creatures. I'm so excited.
Have you always been so curious about bees?
I love everything.
You love everything.
I love everything. It's so great. I'm just so glad to be here.
Did you love this thing as you found it for the first time?
Hmm?
Did you love the thing as you found it?
I love my bees. I opened this magical jar that I had, and it's the Lord. I was, oh, what's this? Bees! I loved, and I told them my secret. I introduced them to my spouse. They were at my wedding, and I gave them some cake. Yeah, it's great. I love my bees.
How did your spouse took to your bees?
Well, not everyone loves bees, and I mean, that's on them. It's okay.
Okay.
But I love my bees, and it's me and my bees.
In what place did you find your bees?
Uh, by a maraschino cherry factory. Or
What?
that's what it said on the building. I don't know what maraschino or cherries are, or I think I know what a factory is, but it's Mara's Chino Cherry Factory. Yeah.
The place had been plundered
Yes.
several times before.
Mhm.
What did tell you that there was something for you to find?
Oh, I just thought it was pretty. I would go there and I would make up stories about who Mara's Chino was and what cherries were. They were red And red is really happy, and I love that. So yeah, and then there were bees there because there had been flowers and there were trees and stuff once upon a time. But there were still flowers, but they weren't red, they were yellow, and they were growing out of cracks in the ground, and I love that.
And amongst the rubble, you found the container.
A jar. Jar of bees.
Have you always been happy, or did this come with finding the container?
Oh no, I love everything. I'm so excited to be here.
I
Ah,
see. And we
I
return.
have you could call a sunny personality.
Yes, indeed. And you're willing to share. And sharing you are indeed, as the bee fill the car for a second and then rush through the hole in the roof. And then we can't hear the screams over the engine of the car and the angry buzzing and humming, or the very friendly and happy buzzing and humming of the bees. And yeah, we see how the bees, the swarm, basically fall off the car, and you're getting away from them. Okay.
No, the bees are coming with us.
Yeah, they will return after they shared all the happiness and
joy of
the
bees.
joy. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
And they have to find sugar too. That's important.
They will look for sugar, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Vicky, have you often witnessed happy bee attacks? Vicky?
Have I noticed these bee attacks before?
Witnessed them.
No, I am in awe, and Vicky is right now scribbling various notes together about this unique bee attack. Uh, Vicky has encountered the idea of a bee before, but never has particularly actually seen a bee in action. Um, this is wildly fascinating. Uh, at best, Vicky has lost all concept that they are in the middle of a very brutal road battle, and is now the mind is stimulating and tickling in various ways at the possibility of the bee, everything from what it could have been for. Vicky assumes the bee is bioengineered, by the way. What it could have been used for back in the day, and he has heard that bees have featured in the old world's cinema heavily, but doesn't know quite sure what it is that these bees do. But they seem to be helping, which is very fascinating. It have the bees successfully driven away our invading attacker yet?
The invading attacker, yes, but there's still one very angry guy behind the wheel, who just saw his friend going out of sight, and he has still a car, and maybe ramming you is a bright idea. He will definitely try in a second. Is there anything you feel?
Vicky looks around the area, having traversed it before, starts thinking that perhaps being fairly knowledgeable about secret routes in the desert, that perhaps there may be a way that we can take now that will not only throw the other driver off our track, but perhaps might get them into a dangerous situation that we can easily go through. Could I possibly roll now to see if that is at all doable?
I think this is very much doable, yes.
Okay.
Um,
Should it be a cunning plus subterfuge, I suppose? Well,
subterfuge,
my
secret
secret roots
roots. Yeah,
is specialty there. Okay, cool.
go for it.
All right, let me see. All right, rolling. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3 successes.
That's perfect. You know, in fact, that there is like a rather big field of sinking sand in front of you. And usually you take the area on where the distance you have to cover is the narrowest, um, tiniest, well. And but you know, you could get into there a little bit early, and there is the pathway narrower for you, so it is a little bit more risky. But if your pursuers aren't aware or probably not knowledgeable about this area, they might easily get into the sinking sand. So that's a good idea. Maybe a good path, yes.
Well, I yelled to our driver to let them know about the possibility of this path and how it'll require some particularly expert piloting, of which Vicky has no conception of, but has full trust in our driver.
This sounds very good. Um, so Marcus, Vicky lends you their entire trust, and the bank. I'm trying to say so many words today that I can't pronounce. So, um, the entire buffet of their knowledge, and are giving you a direction to take. Um, I think there is a real danger for you to also end up in the sinking sand, but because you have the awesome abilities and knowledge of your band members with you, you get a +2 enhancement on your, of course, it's piloting. And um, mm, I think this might actually be more a little bit more in the mental arena.
I'm going to say cunning.
Yeah.
You need to outmaneuver and do some mind games to try to, have them
Yes.
go into the bad place.
Absolutely agreed.
So
Let's make this a duel of wits.
all right. That's a lot of die. Ha 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 ha. You fell for my cunning trap. It is one of my best stats. Dear. Well, I get 3 successes.
Including the enhancements.
Yes.
Okay. That's still better than 2. So,
Yay.
we can see the buggy with our 4 Scions on board veering off the path, and just a few moments later the big truck also steers into that direction, and we can see your pursuer car, which is trying to get to you, and a very angry driver who is screaming at the top of his lungs at you and tries to get to you, and we can see how you're feinting to go right and left, and then it takes 2 attempts, and then the very enraged raider drives his car into the sinking sand and slowly starts to, or basically slows down and is screaming and hammering at his wheel, and you can see through the rear mirror that at some point he realizes he actually needs to get out of there and crawls onto the roof of his car and stands now on top of his car, basically burning away his feet, throwing up his hands into the air and yelling at you for being such a horrible, horrible, horrible troop of people who are doing just the words. And you will find retribution for this. There will be judgment, and you will be judged. And it, yes, then it's just the engine noise is just too loud.
Well, he can be thankful that he can stand under a roof because their group ruined mine. We didn't do anything. We're just, traveling, right?
Yeah,
Right?
hopefully. Um, you drive a little bit of the further through the field, and you're just out of this very dangerous zone as you notice that there is a big black plume of smoke coming from the truck's engine behind you. And yeah, the big vehicle is slowing down.
My car.
It's not your car.
Oh, it's not my car. Okay, then.
It's
Two
the
fingers up and
car.
all that.
It's the car of the people you are traveling with. To
This is important for some of my knacks. Are they non-combatants?
They are non-combatant. Actually,
Okay.
combat is over now. You left your pursuers in the sand behind you. The bees return, and yeah, this is the big truck has basically all of your supplies, and it is everything that you and about 10 people took away from the last settlement. You have been basically having your camp at. These are people who said, well, we thank you for saving us a while back, and we are happy to have you as our protectors, and we will follow you. But we can't stay here. Maybe we can go to a different place where we have like water and the opportunity to do some agriculture or stuff. And it is not the first time that you heard of the amazing city called Atlantis, a city that was found in the desert, and it was protected for a very long time. And so people took refuge there. And it is said that they are doing quite well, like having walls and places to live in who aren't destroyed by the next storm. And it's relatively safe in regards to raiding. And as far as you've heard, these people have medicine for at least one ailment. So it sounds like a pretty dope place. And at the campfire, you decided, well, the 14 people of us, we're gonna try to find Lantis. And this is your journey for a long time by now. And now your companion truck is slowing down.
Okay. With your permission as our story guide, because I have two guardian knacks. One requires me to dedicate myself to an ideal of my choosing. Would that it gives me one enhancement on all applicable rolls and stunts from knacks. Would you be okay with me? My dedicated purpose right now is getting this truck to Lantas.
Yeah, this sounds great.
Cool. And the other one is a fortress. So that's a purpose. The other one is a fortress. I just need to pick a character to defend. And so it'll be, I guess, the weakest of the people we're escorting.
Okay. Who is the weakest of the lot?
I mean, traditionally, I guess it would either be an elder person or a child.
Okay. Ipsy, is it the eldest or the youngest of the group?
It's the youngest.
Okay,
It's the youngest. Okay.
cool. I'm a huge fan of that trope as well. So,
Pablo, what is the hope that you have linked to this child?
This child of this group, to Vicky, really represents the possibility of a future. Whatever knowledge and wisdom and understanding that we gain can be passed on to this child. This is a world where no doubt children are a rarity, at least children that live long enough to perhaps this child being considered an elder by this point in this world. So as such, Vicky cares greatly for this child and hopes to see this child thrive. And perhaps one day this child too will become a keeper of knowledge in its own right, as Vicky has.
Thank you. Marcus, what is the wisdom or skill you have taught this child?
Ooh. What does this stanky boy teach? But you don't shit where you eat, so you look after people that can look after you.
Perfect.
So what good are we if we can't really protect those who are the weakest?
Wonderful. And Saren, what is the name of the child?
Siren doesn't know the child's given name. The child may not even know their own given name. But sorry, 1 second. I love this cold. Siren knows that the child told Siren at the very least that their name was Crow. However, I have been suspecting that is because I have a crow that flies around and follows me, and the kid is just a bit enamored with it.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Okay. So, the truck with Crow on board is slowing down. There is black smoke coming from the engine. And yeah, that's a situation.
We should probably help them.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds very begrudgingly, but he had actually already started to break. It's just frustrated over the situation of things going right, then bad, and know this. So let's see what happened. I don't think I can repair.
I have 2 dots in technology, so I would be heading over there before the cars even stopped, really. Just the minute it seemed... I mean, I have epic stamina, so I can take a bit more of a beating than most people. So just jump from the car the minute I deem it safe enough to do so.
Okay.
Just kind of look and go, well, good thing I know this car doesn't have a child lock.
The big truck needs quite some time to finally come to a still. There's a lot of mass, and it just plows through the sand. Finally, it rests, and there's a lot of feet, a little bit of steam, but certainly a lot of smoke coming from the engine and the metal casing it rests in. The driver's door springs open, and the driver also jumps out of the car, out of the truck. They go by the name of Silver. And since nobody has seen silver, nobody can tell them that the color they are wearing isn't silver. So, jumping out of there and cursing, oh, fucking desert raiders. Ah, shit, I knew there was something going on. And they pull out a pair of gloves, heat resistant, because this casing is fucking hot. And they pull it open, and one can see that there is another hole in there. And after pulling it open, you can see that some sort of small explosive basically got into the engine area and did a horrible job on the mechanics there.
I let out a low whistle, recognizing that this is going to be extremely difficult to fix if we can fix it under the current circumstances. Are we near anywhere we could scavenge tech from?
This is a brilliant question. Who are your scouts?
I do have so my crow is a guide, specifically a crow of the Morrigan. And because it's a guide, I assume I can communicate with it to some degree. So probably the crow, if no one else.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as far as I'm concerned, it's just this weird black bird that started talking to me in the desert.
We might go into details about how you found the bird in a second. Just looking. I think Vicky might also be not the worst at getting an idea of the lay of the land, either
Yeah.
from knowing.
Yes. I've explored all over this land and have marked down fairly well, both in my internal memory and in my various notebooks and on my skin itself, various different ways of traveling around this vast and troublesome desert. Perhaps I could take a look at what time of day is it?
I think it's late afternoon.
Okay. Could take a look at the position of the sun, the way the clouds are blowing, the direction of the wind, and also perhaps looking at any noticeable features in the landscape and see perhaps if I remember using perhaps my cunning and perhaps again my cunning and subterfuge.
Roads, yeah.
Yeah, if there was a possible passage that could lead us towards somewhere appropriate to where we're going, or at least to rest, or at least some level of what could be called civilization in this world.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, let me roll that.
Wasteland groups negotiation.
Okay, 3 successes.
Okay, beautiful. So, as you said, you have come through these lands before, once or twice. And the thing is, you are very sure that there has never been any group of people here for a very long time. But 2 things have changed. First, you've been attacked by raiders just a few minutes ago. If there's nothing here to get, they wouldn't be in this rough area. So if they're not here specifically for you, they must have different targets. And this is not like a trading route you're on. This is something that, yeah, very few people take. And then not too far away on a hill of sand, you can see a small rock formation or a tower of boulders piled up. And this looks like a sign, an indicator of where you are. And this hasn't been here the last time, so you're pretty sure there are people here who need this for orientation, and there have been raiders here. So you think new people are around.
So there are people around, but not exactly sure where.
Yes.
Okay. Perhaps, let me see here. Perhaps there may be something I could do for this. Could I consult in my attempt to gather as many elements of knowledge and wisdom in this Forsaken world? I've definitely also gathered various relics, some lost, some kept, some being kept by others until I get the money to pay them back. But nonetheless, I have what I consider to be Texcatlipoca's mirror. Now, Vicky has no idea who Texcatlipoca may actually be. Has a vague recollection of smoky legs and all that. But nonetheless, the mirror helps Vicky see unforeseen dangers. Now, with the directions before us and the possibilities of avenues, Vicky's going to try to use the mirror to see if one particular direction, here heading perhaps in one of those routes that goes near that monument, may be the safer one or perhaps contain unspoken dangers.
Perfect. Okay. Very important question. How does this relic look like in the world that we are living in? What shape has it taken?
The relic looks actually as a broken car rearview mirror, and it is shattered in quite an aesthetic pattern, which Vicky finds very appealing to look at. But nonetheless, It is bound to Vicky's waist, who wears basically light fabrics, but various levels of light fabrics that make Vicky kind of look as if a traveling desert wizard of sorts. But along Vicky's waist on a rope hangs this Texcatlipoca's mirror, which looks like a broken rearview mirror of a car.
Okay. Um, do we need to roll anything for this, or is this just happening? I am not entirely sure.
That is your prerogative, I suppose.
My wonderful mirror. Okay. We reached the extent of my patience. No, we are not going to roll for it. Okay. So, you are looking into the mirror, and you basically see one path leading to the right from the stone pile and one to the left. And on one of them, there is another huge cloud of dust and sand. And there is something very, very big inside of this cloud. And it doesn't look necessarily as like something that you would voluntarily seek out. And on the other side, you have a little bit of condensation on the mirror.
Well, condensation means water. And let us head in, I would say, in the direction of water, as opposed to big scary thing in the sandstorm. So, yes, I'll recommend to our group, I'll say, everyone, looking into the mirror, as I do from time to time, has led me to believe that perhaps over here we may be able to find something good, water related. At least I think so. Do not attack me if I'm wrong. But there may be water in that general direction. So I say we go this way, as opposed to that way, in which I'm pretty sure I saw something that could eat us.
Water sounds good. Marcus says, kind of picking between his teeth, clearly like dirt's just visible underneath the nail. Winces as he tastes something foul and just kind of spits. And you're like, yeah, I could go for some water. Stinky boy.
I will clap lightly, but it's still going to cause Vicky to wince. My prosthetic arm on your shoulder. May your eyes be as clear as the water we seek. And I'm going to imbue one legend for a blessing marvel, with Tom's permission, obviously, to grant you 2 enhancement on a single action to find water. It lasts for until the end of the scene. And just for rules purposes, the Tuatha De Danaan's Pantheon motif is magic flows from verse and satire, so I was like going for a regular lyrical encouragement there.
Perfect. Okay, Letitia.
Something that could eat us? Like, are we talking like giant monster creature thing, or like natural phenomenon, or band of roving cannibals, or I just want to get like an idea of what it is we're looking at when we're thinking.
Well, my traveling friend, the ways of the desert are always mysterious and strange, and especially so with this damned mirror, which never seems to actually give me a clear and accurate picture. But nonetheless, I can assure you that that way, or was it that way? No, that way is perhaps the most dangerous road we can travel on right now, while that way is watery, which is a good sign, at least in my opinion and experience. It has never been a good sign, except that one time, going somewhere where there is a large creature showing up in the mirror, hidden behind sand. This could be metaphorical, this could be real, this could be meaning that the sand itself is eating us, or it could mean that there is something worse. Well, hopefully not a worm like last time. Don't worry, I think they're all dead now.
Okay. No, I'm good. I'm on board. I was just, I like to dig a little deeper, see what I can see. Maybe there's something we can, like if it was roving band of cannibals, maybe we could work with that. But no, I'm on board. Let's go towards water. But I kind of have to disagree with you that water is safer. It all depends on the context of the situation. So we could be going to like a little trickle of a stream or a great big flood. Or like a poison toxic lake, you never know.
I share your worries. I share your worries. Nonetheless, I don't think I'll just say and let me review my notes here.
Okay.
Yes, it says that previous experience with cannibals never went well. So perhaps we should not go that way and deal with cannibals. If water leads us to drowning, there are worse ways to go in this desert.
That is true. Okay, no, it's fine. I am not going. I'm not trying to rock the boat, as the phrase may be. I don't even know what a boat is, or why it would have rock.
They used them to float previously on much water, and if I read the old records correctly, they also used them to float once into the stars. But I'm not sure how that even happened. Maybe a myth.
That is so bad. You're gonna have to tell me more about it. But later we can talk. We're gonna go towards the water now.
Yeah, you guys, you behave. What we gonna do about that mess? It's missing things, I think. How are they gonna move forward?
Well, I think they should come with us. Where one raider party is, another is sure to follow.
Yeah, and maybe after we brought the others to safety, a few of you and me and Jill might come back and try to sort out this mess.
First priority, getting everyone to safety. Second priority, fix the truck. If it is not fixable, I will carry everything from it to safety. Huge caveat, of course. If it is a permanent source of water, it is unlikely to be undefended.
Yeah, and you see the look in Silver's eyes as he musters you, and there is like, if anybody else would have said these words, he would have dismissed them, sent them into the desert where all the other hollow words are now living. But if Siren says this, there is a little bit of trust, a little bit of faith in there. And after these reassuring words, Silver turns around, climbs back into the truck, and gets the people out. And takes a few minutes, then the basic backpacks are all sorted out. And you have the 10 people who are accompanying you more or less safely into the open desert. And Crow is looking for somebody who's taking their hand, who takes care of Crow.
I probably would as they're my charge. Unless anyone else would like to look after the kid.
I don't mind getting dirty, but I probably am the worst influence on the child.
In which case, I'm absolutely tapping into the. So I have +1 scale for carrying because of the epic strength purview. So like I'm just carrying this kid, like one arm holding him on my shoulder, and I do not notice it whatsoever.
Perfect. Brilliant. Letitia, are you completely fine with Siren taking the child? I mean, there's
No, I'm so glad to be here. I'm just happy.
Okay.
I'm just willing to contribute however people need me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so you are taking a wonderful stroll through the desert, following Vicky, because Vicky is on the look for water. And it is not a short walk. It takes some time, and the sun is blasting down. The sand is hot, and I think sooner or later, Siren is at least carrying one additional person whose shoe work is a mess, and they are basically burning their feet by walking. And so you're all doing your best. And as you're crossing the desert by foot, it's for at least one of you, it's like walking on the sand-covered roof of an embalming hall. It's like walking through the desert and knowing that there are the giant graves of all the great kings and queens, those who have actually joined you, and those who are imprisoned to never arise. Somewhere in front of you is the mighty river with its barges and ships and plentiful fields. It is almost as if you could taste it, the majestic water, the stream of life in front of you. But it is a mere memory of a life long gone, of an age that had fallen as everything else has. And the last glimpse of this memory is the echo. One could imagine that your footsteps leave in the empty, embalming hall. And I think this is a good moment for a break. So we will be back in a few minutes. So if you are watching this on VOD, just jump ahead a few minutes and we will be back with more happy tales about desert walking. And if you are watching us live, just be patient for 5 to, I don't know, a few minutes. And yeah, we will be back then. So drink some water and see you soon. We are back. Hello. Yeah. Apparently nobody did die during our break, which is a relief because life is very, very, very cheap and very expensive in after the end. And I before we return to our story, I want to give you a heads up about where the campaign is standing right now in this very moment that we are recording. So Mythic Shards is fully funded at this point, and we are hurling. That's a word that I was missing for like 30 minutes. Um, hurling towards one of the towards the first stretch goal, which is a shirt. Um, that we can get on Redbubble at 25,000 US dollarinos. And then there is the second stretch goal, something that I don't know if you like what we are doing, might be very interesting for you, which is the story guide reference PDF for After the End, as it should be. So, if these aren't two intriguing goals, I don't know. And yeah, maybe we have to just push through them and see what lies beyond, like beyond the next dune that we are heading towards, as one of our Scions is having a brief moment of memory of their former life, because Vicky is not an ordinary person. Their soul is being touched by something that's so much older, that persisted even through all the end times. And they are basically cursed to know the world how it was before. And from time to time, we get back into touch with this, like on this journey. So, as you are basically remembering one of your walks, I'm not entirely sure if this was in world or even in the overworld. Um, how do you feel about being reminded of a life that Wiki doesn't necessarily know, but it's definitely part of you?
And Vicky, they have a weird mix of a concoction of sorrow and grief, while also excitement for the insight and gratefulness to be able to at least remember. Remembering is very important to Vicky, especially in this world where so quick everything has been forgotten for the most part. And it does also give Vicky a little bit more of that final element of that concoction, which is hope that perhaps these memories and ways might return into the world. And perhaps Vicky can help out further in doing so. Or at least Vicky hopes so. They don't really know and are a little bit uncertain, but nonetheless will still try. And so to welcome a moment in which they're walking as they may have walked before, it is enlightening to them.
Yeah. Letitia, where do you think would you be? Would you be on the head of your traveling party together with Wiki, or will you be in the middle at the end?
I think that Letitia has long since learned that when she's traveling the deserts with other people, it's best for her to take the rear because not everyone has the comforts that she does. Not everyone enjoys environmental resistance and is basically, perfectly fine and happy trudging merrily through the desert. So, Yeah, no, I think Letitia's going to take the rear, and she will also be letting people know, like when people start to fall behind, she's there to lend a helping hand and guide them on, and basically be support.
The incredible thing is, as somebody falls back and basically falling into your hand,
Mhm.
it's like they can walk easier.
And
Like the ground is flattening a little bit more. It's more like giving a solid hold. It's the desert becomes more reliable around you.
and all they have to do, the only price they have to pay is to listen to me talk endlessly about how wonderful the desert and sunshine is. And I point out all the little features of the desert. Look, oh, look at those plants. Those plants are so wonderful. Do you know that they bloom whenever it rains, but it doesn't rain that often? So whenever it does bloom, it's just the most spectacular thing in the world. It's like the desert is painted with color. All sorts of vivid, beautiful, stunning colors, purples like you've never seen outside of a sunset. Brilliant, brilliant yellows. I mean, it just looks like ancient art, really. It's like you would have seen on the sides of buildings or high up in the sky on those amazing platforms that they had to showcase art in the old days.
And there are really plants growing in the desert.
Yeah, oh, of course there's plants. There's all sorts of life in the desert. You just need to know how to look for it.
And it's maybe just the idea that there might be something growing out of sight that sticks with them, but something is sticking with them. And
There is
so,
there is life and there is beauty everywhere. If you just know where to look, you can see it in the buzzards circling there over never mind what that is, but the buzzards are life itself, and they are just a continuation of the endless cycle. Death and rebirth. Don't look at that. No, just we're looking at the buzzards. Yes. Mhm.
perfect. Okay. Is there somebody spearheading your expedition together with Vicky?
Probably not me. I'd probably be in the middle, making sure that all of my charges are safe, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Marcus might be in the front mostly just because it's like doesn't know how to like properly behave, and so it's better that they only get the the good the good side and the good angle. Unfortunately, that is his behind. So with trying to make conversation but doesn't really know how to act or behave around Vicky. They just seem to be incredibly smart, and yeah, so that mirror you got is kind of neat.
Yes. I like to think so. Vicky is taken aback by the fact that someone's directly addressing them. Vicky doesn't hate social interaction. It's just still surprised by it. Uh, Most of Vicky's social interaction involves characters and people that are long, long, long dead. And so having someone that is very much present there talk about how something they have is pretty cool is exciting and terrifying for Vicky. Um, yes, I like the mirror. I found it, well, found in some old ruins, actually. Not well, perhaps far from here. Yes, far from here. But yes, it allows me to see the possibility of danger, perhaps. One of the relics of the old times, the old world, and the old gods, as they used to walk amongst these lands and elsewhere. But yes, do you have anything like this?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've found plenty of stuff that, you buy from a guy from back of the pickup truck, right? Just completely whoosh overhead, wasteland smuggler.
Yes, I once bought something that he claimed was used for in games of past. It was an etched cube with at least 10, what was it, six sides? Yes. But he said that it would not be useful for my travels during this particular destination. He, for some reason, had said something along the lines of if I find a traveler that has one of these with 10 sides, it would be particularly useful for my travels this time around. I don't know what it means. People are so mysterious in the desert. Well, people are mysterious to me in general.
Indeed. Um, it is like the sound of a breaking wave at the front of a barge that one could hear as you um, finally walk over the dune and see a valley that has not been on any map, that was not found by any scout, that now has not been here the last time you crossed through these lands. It's a strange place. There are rough stone walls and towers, but they are not made from hands. It's look like it's grown, and they are covered in strange um, crustaceans and between these stone pillars, basically, there are a few houses, and you can see that a few ragtag flags are being set on some of the pillars. So your characters haven't seen these, but what you, for our players and our audience sake, this does look like these rock formations are covered in barnacles and the leftover of a coral reef. So, and there are a few houses in there, naturally protected against wind and probably outsiders.
I will um, holster my shotgun, reasoning that it's going to make a poor impression on people especially if we're asking them for aid, to walk in with a readied weapon. But I imagine that we've been traveling A as a band and B with this community of people long enough that they at least know that I don't actually need the shotgun to do serious damage. So it's more just the look of the thing rather than any actual practical exercise, I guess.
Marcus also carries a gun, which is probably amongst the most deadly weapons in this entire freaking wasteland. How do you
It's
carry
pretty
it?
neat. I carry it sloppily. It's kind of tied around the back. The rope has broken in like 2 places, and tried to make a neat little ribbon, but it's uneven, and also like half of it's upside down. This is a disaster of a man.
Perfect. Vicky, you are sure you have found water?
Vicky is quite excited, but does their best to sort of restrain it. Vicky instead sort of wanders around, tries to get a better look at things, takes out a fairly broken set of binoculars that is actually fairly useless, but nonetheless is happy because I'm pretty certain there's definitely water here. And what seems to be perhaps wait, did you mention that we saw that there might be people living here, or have we not
Yes.
noticed that yet?
Yes.
Okay.
There are
Yes.
few small houses.
Yeah, and with the sight of the few small houses, this means an entirely new group of people that Vicky has yet talked to or gained knowledge from. So very exciting, and he hopes that they are friendly, or at least they hope that they are friendly.
Mhm. Letitia, how do you approach this village?
Hmm. Can I make I want some sort of figuring out the best way to approach them sort of role. So can I say that let's say that's manipulation maybe and empathy? That sound good to you?
I'd say it's a little bit more on the culture side of things.
Sure. Same difference.
Okay, then go ahead.
Oops, hold on. Hit the wrong thing. That is 1 success.
1 success. Okay. Um, you can't see any vehicles. This means either all of them are gone or the settlement doesn't have any.
Mhm.
You also can't see like means to produce food. You don't see any animals outside. You don't see any fields or anything like this. Um, This might be a raiding camp or a raider settlement. So you probably don't want to look like easy prey.
Okay. I will relay that information. And then I will also ask Vicky. I will, in relaying this information, I will ask Vicky, what do you make of this?
Vicky takes a look around, and with the speculation that this might be a raider camp, it doesn't seem as if anyone of note is present, at least outside. But Vicky, being an experienced traveler, as the knack says, remembers a bit of general raider lingo and social mores to possibly, in case there is someone at this camp, to be able to reach out to them and assure them that we're not opposing raiders, or at the least here in a peaceful way that may diffuse their desire, their penchant for raiding others, including us, but also to let them know that we're not there to raid them. So if I could roll perhaps a presence plus culture for this, with the enhancement that comes from being an experienced traveler, which would be +1, then I will do so. Let's see. Presence plus culture. All right. That'd be 1 and 2 10s. So let me reroll those 10s. 2 successes.
Perfect. Okay.
Well, actually 4 because those 10s. Yes.
10s explode.
Yes. So, dude, if I remember correctly, they count, and then if you roll again a success, that counts as well.
Yes.
So that would be, I got 1 8, 2 10s, and then another 8 after I rolled those 10s.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, then it's 4. You're right. Okay, let's handle this like in the air hanging enhancements that you can use during a social situation. So this is knowledge that Vicky shares with her band, and you can use them as you need them. Okay. So you come closer to the village, and of course, you have been seen, spotted. And as you finally are close enough to get a good view onto the people who are coming into your direction, you see these are in leather closed people, and they are completely bald, and there is one elderly man amongst them who has facial tattoos, and they resemble the jaw of a giant fish. And the people in his company, there are 5, are basically wearing leather armor and weapon amalgamations, like spears with several edges, and clubs with spikes in them, and stuff like this. One of them has a gun, and they're meeting you like 10, 20 meters away from the first building, just outside of the stone pillars. Harsh desert winds brought you to our door. What is it that you want?
The harsh desert winds have also brought us to your hospitality, and as such, we desire your hospitality as is due to us, children of the desert.
The let's call them warriors, are having a brief exchange between themselves, looking at you, looking at your companions, the people you're carrying with you, your equipment. One of them eyes Crow. You have plenty. We don't have much to spare. You can't stay.
Just as a reminder, what are we exactly looking for amongst these people?
My understanding was we were trying to find a safe place to stash, a safe place for the the non-combatants that we're escorting to Lantis. So there'll be shelter, food, water, hopefully something to fix the truck with. But
Vicky thinks about this, and this may not be exactly the safest place for these people, considering these are brutal raiders. But perhaps they can help lead us towards another place that they may know. Raiders traverse the land. This is true. So Vicky, after much chin stroking, looks towards the raiders and says, "We do not wish to trouble you with your resources, nor do we wish to impose upon your encampment, as strong and as well defended as it is. We acknowledge the majesty of your camp and instead wish to know, perhaps, is there some land where our people could gather with, not as a threat to you, but perhaps we could act as stewards of this land, or perhaps some other territory that wishes to find more people to grow their numbers. We are not terribly encouraging them to be violent types. We, as all people of the desert, just to reassure the raiders, have a great capacity for violence, but have no desire to show such capacity at this moment."
Right. Hi there. How are you? Can I ask you a question? This is directed to the leader of the Raiders.
Yeah, he seems to be processing the monologue that Vicky just gave them. And yes.
What do you want?
And you feel them looking you up and down, trying to gauge an idea of what you could give.
No. What do you want? Not what do I have that you want? What do you want?
And then he says, glory.
You want what? Glory?
Glory.
Glory. I love glory.
There.
Do you want glory for yourself? Or do you want to hear the glories of others?
And as he starts talking about glory, the eyes of his warriors are lighting up. And he turns around for a brief moment and gestures towards the village and says, we brought this place from beneath the sand, and it shall become a beacon of glory, a beacon to honor Samson.
That is fascinating. Oh my gosh, you have to tell me. I have to know. Tell me what you did. I am seated. I am so seated that they cannot move me. I want to glory unto me. Put your glory on me. Yes, please.
Yes, tell us great tales of this Samson. I too am fascinated.
I'm carefully
Oh,
putting Crow down just in case things kick off.
oh, if you tell us about your glory, we could just sit for a bit, rest our feet. You tell us about your glory and how you raised this place from the sands to be a beacon of glory unto Samson. We can carry that onward when we go to the next place. And we can tell them of your glory. And they can come and see the beacon. And maybe we can put something shiny. Shiny things are glorious. Are they not?
Yes, but there's something more glorious.
What's that?
Blood.
Blood.
Blood of the bees, the more must die.
This is me. Blood of the beast? Or
Yes,
no,
the
Ipsy asking. I
the beast, yeah, and he called it also the maw.
The maw.
The maw.
What's the maw?
The maw that devours, the maw that comes to tear us down again, to devour us. But Samson is here. He will defend us. He will uplift us to his glory. And we will shine brighter than those in fabled Atlantis and beyond. For we killed them all.
Did you kill them all? Or you will kill them all?
Our hunters are out there right now.
Is the maw that way?
What direction are you pointing into?
Pointing in the direction that they didn't go.
Yes.
The maw is
Yes.
that way. So it's a great big devouring thing that can eat people. And is it like heralded by a sandstorm? Perhaps it's just covered in sand with lots of swirling clouds of sand, things like that.
It is sad that there are clouds, yes.
Okay, it is said that there are clouds. And your Samson is that way with the
He
moth.
he is waiting for it.
He's
It has to happen here. It has to come here. It needs to be lured.
Okay, so Samson is here. Your hunters are luring the maw this way.
Yes.
Your hunters are luring a giant beast to where you live.
Yes. It has to be witnessed. It has to be seen.
Mm-hmm. I'm on board. I hear you.
You can
We are together in this moment of comprehension. Yes. Mhm.
can witness it wherever you want to witness it. It doesn't have to be on your doorstep. It doesn't have to come with a danger to your housing, to your settlement, to your people.
Samson said, we have to baptize and to baptize the ground with its blood.
Line of them all.
Where is this Samson? Is he in physical form, or perhaps something you speak to?
It's probably the dual approach that you have been carrying. Like, this person seemed to be very confused by the many elaborate words that Wiki used, and then the devouring attention of Letitia. So before they can think about it, the elder immediately responds with, Samson is below, he's in the caverns. And then realizes, maybe I shouldn't have said this.
It's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I'm a good listener. So people just tend to just say things to me. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Your secrets are between me and the bees.
Is Samson one of you, or something beyond?
Samson, he shed mortality.
I want to
Fascinating.
back up. He is below, presumably where the water source is. And he's going to kill some giant beast in your water source to baptize the land in blood and glory. With no repercussions on the water?
He promised that we will bath in the blood and we will witness and join in the glory.
I think I'd rather bathe in water.
Yeah, have you ever had a blood bath? It's very sticky and it smells bad.
Yeah, I definitely know that.
That would be why we know.
Sand helps though, just have a little bit
Yeah,
roll around.
we have to pin Marcus down and give him a good scrub with some sand. It's
Blood,
good for the skin.
blood is most disadvantageous when it gets into water. I would hate to tell you this, my dear rating friends, but perhaps and right now Vicky is digging into the realms of their psychology specialty, but perhaps if the sacredness of the blood of this beast being spilled needs to baptize this land, perhaps someone as Samson or even the great glory of your people could recognize this through a ritual that brings the blood from the beast slain elsewhere to here to be maintained as perhaps an anointing item as opposed to being intermingled with the water. This will allow you not just clean water and the glory of clean water, but also have a sacred item with which to bless your warriors when they go out further. And can I roll my, suppose that would be cunning and uh hmm,
I
sub
am side-eyeing the time a little bit,
okay.
and I think you very well prepared this situation. And with the enhancements we are still hanging in the scene, I say, well, yes, this does make some sense to Elder Jaw. And he says, yes, yes, you're right. And for some reason, he is looking at Marcus. How? How would we do this the proper way? How would we prepare such ritual? You who've bathed in blood.
Oh, you see, best thing that you can bring to a battle is allies. This dude Samson, eh? He's gonna bring glory. It's gonna be a bloodbath for everyone. It's gonna be great. We could probably help him out. You know, every hero needs their sidekicks, right? So, if you let us in and like don't touch our people, it's like I will cut off your hands if you try to touch them. We will have blood raining from the sky. There will be so much. We will just be rolling around in that, and it will be glorious. But we need to talk to the Samson dude, right? If he got the water stuff. I'm like looking at my friends, going like, is this what we want? Or did I do a bad?
I'm giving it a look of like benevolent encouragement. Like, yes, you're embracing yourself. You're doing the right thing. Possibly the first time I've ever given this look to Marcus.
Perfect. Okay. Quick time jump. Apparently, Elder Draw is completely on board with blood raining and everybody having the best time of their life in blood rain. And well, okay, this sounds great, and there will be probably more glory because more people are fighting and probably dying, but well, it's on another page entirely. And so they take you in, and you are given basically a room in one of the small buildings that looks like it belongs to another person because we don't have space to spare. There's everything is crammed full. But apparently the homeowner isn't here right now. They are one of the hunters who went with the two cars the village has out there. And then after you made sure that Crow and Silver and the others are safe and wellish, you are being brought to another house. And this one has an entrance to a cavern. And as you follow the elder, you walk down some stairs. Stairs that look like they have been here for a very, very long time and have been worn down by a few pair of selected feet over and over again. And as you walk down the winding stairs through this cavern, the walls to your left, to your right, they start blooming. There are starfish and like these corals and anemones, different underwater specimen that are growing on the walls. The air starts to feel moist and then even wet. And this place, it contains the largest amount of water that you've ever encountered without you seeing a single drop of it. The space opens up, and there is a small puddle, not larger than two hands folding up a little bit like a cup. And next to this puddle, there sits a man. A man covered only in the barest minimum of clothing. He is covered in red markings on his hands, arms, torso, face, back of his head, his neck, his backside, his legs, his feet, everything. And his eyes have the same color as his markings.
Just a question. Are these markings like tattoos or like...
It looks like paint to you.
Thank you. Please continue.
And as you enter, he looks up. And you are looking at another fate-bound person. What are you doing here?
We came to talk to you. You're Samson, right? We've heard of your glory.
I am indeed. Who are you?
I am Letitia, seventh of her name. With me is Vicky and Marcus and Simon.
Why are you here?
We came to talk to you. You are Samson. We have heard of your glory. And that you wish to defeat the great Maw and bathe this land in blood and glory so that it will become a beacon.
He turns toward Elder Jaw. Leave us. I am sure you have things to prepare. And after the elder has left, so you came to watch my glory.
Well, we did have some concerns about you killing a giant creature in a water source. And also underneath where your followers appear to live. You might survive it, but they probably won't.
And
There's a look in Siren's eyes of, oh, it's this kind of dickhead. Oh, well, and I don't know if you noticed, but the world's kind of broken. We can only fix it together.
yeah, you're not wrong. People like you and I, we can fix it. Actually, it might be good that you came to become witnesses.
Could you just clarify what it is we're supposed to be witnessing? Because we heard about the glory, yes, and the bloodbath and the maw, but we just sort of lack clarity on what those things mean specifically to you.
Well, we are unique, so to say. We are beyond those people above us. And it is our responsibility to bring the change, to restart things the proper way. I heard the world was already broken before. And then it collapsed entirely. And like the Titans of old, it is now our role to pick up the giant, pull his brain out of the skull and put it as clouds on top of the sky. To make mountains from his legs and rivers from his veins. But to do this, we must go a step further. Right now, we are still limited.
Mhm.
We have to ascend by deeds fulfilled. I am about to fulfill a deed which will ascend me.
Uh, this is probably just me not getting it. You know how people are. Are you talking like literally reaching into a guy's skull and pulling out his actual brain and making it into a mountain? Or is this like some sort of metaphor for, I don't know, rebuilding like a phoenix from the ashes?
I have no idea what a phoenix is, but
Oh, it's a city. It's way south. It burned down and then they had to rebuild it. Mhm.
Congratulations, you broke Tom.
Thank you.
usually I can hide behind my my picture, but today it's
Today
it's
don't
not
have
like
to
this.
share. You have to listen to me. You have to
Um,
in front of everyone.
you know, it's it's a story. We are all telling stories,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
No, I am not picking out somebody's brain.
Oh, okay.
I'm just killing a fucking huge beast. And there will be someone to tell the story.
Oh, great. Now he's speaking my language. See, it's like we need to be on the same wavelength, or we'll just end up doing something that we were not supposed to do. Take care of someone apparently doesn't mean invite them out for dinner and make sure to listen to what they have to say and stuff like that. It's so we're killing something. That's great. All right, I'm on board with that.
Good.
I still.
Is there more water than this, or is this the water that we have?
This is the water.
Okay.
And it is enough.
But
I'm, I'm not. Look, we're not doubting your ability or the size of your pool. It's a magnificent pool. I mean, it's more water than I've seen today. So it's pretty great. I mean, A plus on the water. But we had concerns. We're not gonna lie, we had some concerns that maybe it was more water and you would be like destroying it. But I think in the grand scheme of things, this is like it's we're making, you know, we were
Oh,
making.
it's not like I intend to stay here.
Where did you intend on going?
Well, there are at least a few other places like this. Not like this, but you know, villages and stuff with people in there. So there are a few more opportunities, but this is an important milestone.
No, 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 no. That's great. I'm on board. I think what you're doing is fantastic. Yeah, killing beasts is pretty great. Where are these other places? Rough direction.
Read me, I will see.
You will.
If I understand correctly, uh, and do correct me if I'm wrong, but Samson, are you in attempting to do some sort of grand sacrifice in front of these people, uh, in order to bless yourself, perhaps?
Blood must be spilt. Mine, that of the Maw,
Mm, yes,
and
yes.
of
As if the great
course,
heroes of old, then. Yes.
Does it matter whose blood? Like, is it both of your blood that needs to be spilled, or is it just like the Maw's blood needs to be spilled?
I think to really matter, much blood must be flowing.
Okay.
Could perhaps the sacrifice be done within the view of the village, but nonetheless not at the village itself to where infuses itself with the water supply, but instead makes the land around it sacred, perhaps?
I think this is the water. This this is the water.
Yes, we should not
No,
uh do something to the water.
no.
Don't worry.
I mean, this is the water.
This is the water, and it won't matter afterwards anymore.
Yeah, it's not a water supply. It's this.
Fascinating.
This is the one. That's. I mean, even if we were to somehow sieve it all up and strain it and make it palatable. We're talking maybe a couple cups. It's not enough to. They
It
were.
is.
They said that they don't have a lot.
It's
So,
negligible in comparison to the blood that will flow.
and it's fabulous, I assure you. But we're not dealing with an aquifer here. We're dealing with 2 cups of water.
Then thinking metaphysically, perhaps this grand sacrifice may do something we're not expecting. The desert is magical and mysterious, and I have a feeling this Samson may be onto something here.
Yeah, or on something. It's what are you doing, mate? I'm getting vibes that you're like throwing these people away, and it's like, what makes you special if there's no one to call you special? And you're just like a nobody.
There will be someone telling my story.
It won't, because your plan will most likely end in dead. Well, I suppose the hunters. Oh,
Think us.
those that are left anyway, would have been able to, originally, in your original plan, the hunters who are left would have been able to tell your story. I suppose we certainly can now, but I'm going to be honest. Whatever we are, whatever our role is in this broken world, I cannot believe that it is, or will I believe that we are executioners. Not the creature is a test of prowess, but a fight here, I gesture to the cave that we're in, it'll rip out the support for the village above. Anyone left alive will die. That I cannot allow.
That's glory.
That is pointless.
That's all what matters.
Above table, just hypothetically, those red marks, are they runic in nature?
I mean, what would you want to learn from this?
No, this is just me metagaming shamelessly.
Okay, because I don't know.
Okay.
But if you want to see some symbolism there, let's have a conversation.
It was more
about
because I'm an incarnation of a god rather than
Yeah.
a reflection or mutation. I didn't know if there might be any vestigial memory of, hey, this is an Aesir Scion, trying to persuade them not to go after glory, because I think glory is one of the Aesir virtues. Is fatalism and something else, maybe? Anyway.
The thing is, you're not entirely sure if it's really glory in the meaning of glory. That's what the center of this conversation.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's, I think Marcus is probably the one picking up this the most. This is about slaughter. Samson wants to see blood, a lot of it, and he needs somebody to witness him doing it.
Okay, yeah.
But the sight will be more impressive the more people die. That's the entire point.
That's what I was figuring. I
Um,
was just trying to figure out if it was, because we are on a time limit here, for personal glory, or he just wants wanton bloodshed. And Siren, whichever. As I said, I cannot allow that. That is not good. That is not a thing I will let Samson do.
Yes, this grand loss of life is not glorious, really, but rather irrational. Would you not gain the same glory by slaying the beast yourself as opposed to slaying so many people? It just seems, and I know it's strange to say this term, in this sort of world, but barbaric.
There's power. There's power within us, and there's power outside of us, and we can grasp it. And there's only one way.
Is there only one way?
And if he gets up from a sitting position, and the tiny puddle has a ripple on it, and he looks at you and says, I feel it. I feel every single life that is built in my name.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to leave a mark, I need this.
I just shake my head. I'm happy to leave a mark on you. Just say the word.
Can I use my Ghost of Duat to reveal the presence of one nonverbal deception, mystery, or concealed secret present in the scene? Or even though I don't know what's deceptive about it or what it hides.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Give us an idea of what it does look like. How would others perceive you doing this?
Ghost of Duat, it's a guide. So it's it's a it's it's a ghost. I don't know. It doesn't
Who
say.
would you be calling?
Well, it's supposed to be Anubis, but I don't know an Anubis. Let's call on. I don't know Anubis. I am the seventh Letitia of my name, so I'm going to ask the other six Letitias who came before me.
One of whom does have Anubis on speed dial.
I think that the teachers are pretty good on their own.
I think.
Okay. What you are being, what is being revealed to you, that
Before me.
this chamber, or this cavern in which you are, suddenly has a door, a double-winged gate with the skulls for doorknobs. And the one of the wings is slightly ajar. And behind this door, you can have a small peek. And it's not a big room behind there.
Mm-hmm.
And it is covered mostly in darkness. But there's a small flame in the middle of the room. And it has sparking embers coming from it. And you immediately know each ember is a name.
Is a name?
Is a name.
Okay.
And you are suddenly aware that Samson is probably an arising deity, a deity of destruction and death. But mainly death. So maybe he doesn't need to necessarily kill people to rise in power. There might be a different way to ascension for him. So you were not entirely off track for maybe there is a different way.
Mhm. All right, Samson. I'm going to level with you here. I think you're heading in the wrong direction for ascension. I think you're leaning too far into the destruction of others. You're putting your faith outside of yourself. That doesn't seem very glorious to rely on everyone else to do the work for you. I do think you have a point, though, about witnesses. I think, like the buzzard that flies ahead, that you are, in fact, a herald of something greater. And I think that when you face the maw and you bring death to it, that is glory unto itself. I mean, I am the seventh Letitia of my name. There have been 6 before me, and I bear their wisdom in me. But I am my own person, making my own path, walking my own journey through this desert, and enjoying the glory of life, of which you are the other side of that coin.
And the expression on his face changes from pure bloodlust to a little bit of reflection. And so he turns around towards Siren and Marcus. Oh, no, wait, before this, he asks Letitia and Vicky, will you be my witnesses?
I would love to witness this.
I shall make sure to record it upon my very skin so that others will know of your glory.
And then he turns around to Marcus and Siren and asks them, will you accompany me to my death?
It would be my honor.
I suppose I will. Just kind of lean over to Siren's like, I don't plan on dying though, but you know, if he dies, that's fine by me at this point.
A brief cut in time. The sea of dunes in front of us. A giant megalodon, an primeval beast jumps out of the waves of the wasteland. And we see it bears many wounds. And so does Samson. And so does Siren. And so does Marcus. As Samson does his last stroke, he is being devoured. Yes.
I would like to use my Burning Sun +2 to Impassioned Please, only because it is thematic. I would like to, as he is being swallowed, lift my hands up to the sun and say, "Witness his splendor!" All grand and dramatic.
That's brilliant. And these are the words that Wiki immortalizes on their skin. And the next thing they can write down is how Siren and Marcus are bringing revenge to the Maw. And I thank you so much for this endeavor into After the End and the first step of Samson on his ascension and his death and his glorious rebirth that might come one day. Thank you very much, dear audience, and of course, so much to my wonderful, wonderful players. You did so great. Thank you.
Thank you to our wonderful storytellers for
Yes.
sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are almost on time. So we're gonna go in reverse order, I think, and have our who we are, where to find us, what cool things we want to plug, and gonna start with the beautiful, radiant Ipsy.
Hi, I'm Ipsy. I don't want to be found. I like hiding under the bed. Don't talk to me if you see me on the street. Just look the other way. I am far too beautiful to behold in person. That's why I'm hidden far away in a land where no one can find me. To promote, I think everyone should drink more iced coffee. It's really great. Iced coffee will quench your thirst and keep you cool. Iced coffee. That's what I have to promote.
Ipsy works for Big Coffee, confirmed.
Thank you. Okay, next, the wonderful, breathtaking Ryan.
Oh, hey, that's me. Yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm Comrade Bubbles pretty much everywhere on the internet apart from TwitX. I do occasionally, I say occasionally, I stream alternate Tuesdays on this channel, and I'm appearing on alternate Fridays on this channel as well in an Exalted Essence actual play. I stream on Twitch as Comrade Bubbles, so if you have any questions, want to hang out, chat role playing nonsense, follow my channel, and I'm always happy to chat role playing, no matter what I'm doing on stream.
Thank you so much. And now, the wonderful Excelsior Bianca.
Hello, thank you so much for watching. I am on the Bird app. They don't even have a bird as a icon anymore. Very sporadically, on and off. It's been a blast. Thank you so much. Please check out the is it Kickstarter?
It's
Yes.
it's a
Something.
Backerkit campaign.
Okay, so it's please check out on the Backerkit. Even though if it's already funded, stretch goals are great. It means more content, more games, which is very good. Right now, it's like horror lighting right now. I have only my computer screens and my poor phone. This wasn't going to be a horror story, but
You're turning it into one. Perfect. Thank you. We wouldn't have it any other way. Well, and then there is the most astounding and heroic Pablo.
Great intro. Yes, let me see. I'm Pablo. You can find me on Discord as Pabbles, Pabbles. And yeah, sometimes you'll see me pop into the official Onyx Path Discord, especially talking on the Scion channels. If you want to see any of my work with Scion, you can find it Drive Through RPG usually, whether that's on the Story Path Nexus or in any of the official books released by Onyx Path directly. My names on there are either Pablo Vasquez or PA Vasquez. And so, yeah, if you see that, that means I worked on the book. And yeah, definitely also support this Mythic Shards Backerkit because it's such an awesome idea. I'm a big fan of alternative settings and everything, and especially to see it in Scion, it's very awesome. And I look forward to seeing all the sorts of games that people run with Mythic Shards. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I don't have much time to even talk about after the end, but oh my God, there's just a brief section about a possible chronicle, and I looked at it and I thought, I want to run this thing. And I promised to myself and my players we're not going to make this into a long form thing because we can't admit to that right now. But oh, it's so good, and they're um until the last 10 minutes before stream, I was fighting a stream of ideas which I wanted to incorporate, and I there's so much more. There's so much more that we, you know, mythic sharks all over the place, and it's after the end. I I was like, as I was approached, or we were approached to do these streams, and I was like, well, sell me on it in like 2 sentences, and there were 2 sentences, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna do this. And I fell in love with some of the characters, and I freaking love that this is after the end. This all the stories have been told, but this is, if you look into many different mythologies, just the beginning. This is as the world begins. There is shadow and light, and it has to be separated. There's a slain corpse of a giant lying on the floor, and Odin and his brothers have to form the world from it again. Tiamat has slain their partner, and a world. Nee, Apsu has slain Tiamat's partner. But basically, they are all telling the same story of everything that was before is now dead, and it is a new beginning. And it's no coincidence that we are now having open seats at God League, and people are striving to go there. So, yeah, please, if you liked what you have been hearing and seeing, go to Backerkit, back Mythic Shards After the Fall is one of the many chapters you can get there, and tell your own stories, which will be even more magnificent than what you've seen here today, because it is the story that you are telling. And that's a side of Travis' Bizarre Kingdoms over at Kickstarter, and the Curseborn Ashcan, which is now available as POD over at Drive Through RPG. The only thing that I need to tell you right now. And with this, I wish you a wonderful night. May all your ends be a new beginning. and see you soon. Goodbye.